Hello, Jog Brogzin here. How are you? Here for a little mapping stream, and for once I don't exactly know what I'm going to make because I'm going to ask you guys what you want. Now, I do have some maps that I do need to make, so I'm going to show them to you and then we can decide together. Let me just fix my mic because also I had a little listen back to the giveaway stream and my audio. I'm not sure if it was just my playback. The audio was a bit dodgy, so let me know if you feel that there's any audio issues. Every feedback is appreciated. Okay, so what's this here? This is, I know some of you may be coming from the previous stream, the giveaway stream, and congrats to Daryl for winning again. I think I honestly believe that Harold for Talent Manager is like receiving bribes off Daryl. I'll have to just investigate that. But for now, I want to celebrate. I want to thank my patrons. We have achieved 100 patrons, and I'm absolutely blown away. I'm so honored and I'm so humble. So this is little dungeon map. You can see the shape of 100 as well. What are the chances? Okay, so let's get going. Let's have a look at the various sketches that we have going. Okay, so we have an elevated city map, a top-down city, and then an elevated landscape map that we could do. So if you're in the if you're watching and you just want to, if there's a particular thing that you want me to want to see me map, say hi in the chat and let me know what you want made, and we're gonna start from scratch. Or if you prefer, I can actually concentrate on, if there's a particular technique that you'd like to see done, we can do a tutorial stream. It's up to you guys. That's if there's anyone, not too shy to just take out their keyboard and type a few letters. Now I'm going to take a little sip of tea because that is so important. Okay, so since we've reached, I'm trying to think of the word. Okay, since I've reached 100 patrons, normally people, they do like a face reveal or something like that. When who wants to see my face? Seriously, crusty old cartographer like myself. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal a secret, a dark secret that I have, and that is, I have a serious tea addiction. So apologies if you hear me slurping every now and again. I don't know how I do without it. Okay, so let me just see. Sometimes the chat just isn't working, and there might be stuff up there. So you just check. Yeah, let's put this in silent. Make sure that there is actually some activity on. If there is activity on the chat, and I'm completely ignoring you. Yeah, okay, there is. So Daryl, how are you? Congrats again. What would you like to see me map? Would you like a tutorial, or would you like to see me do one of these patron maps, a top-down map, or an elevated view city, or something like that? What's your preference? What would you like to see made on this stream? Because I could make anything. The elevation, yes. So the city elevation, I presume, not the landscape elevation. Okay, well, I'm taking that. That's the answer. Right. So this here is it's part one of a series of city maps of a city that's going to basically going to do it every 3 months or so. Actually, every season we're going to do a different season of this court of seasons. So it's basically a Fey map, and the map changes. It's in its infancy in springtime, and then as the time goes on, the city gets bigger and it becomes like at the peak of civilization in autumn time, and in winter it starts decaying. So let's get most of my maps. I start with my light board. Bit earthquake. As you probably know, if you've studied any sort of geography, Ireland is directly on a fault line, and we get earthquakes like this all the time. Check it out. Check it out. That's what the internet's for. You find that we are directly in the worst possible place for fault lines. Oh, and also my camera is mounted on a thing that's I'm dropping everything everywhere. So let's see. Okay, so here's my. I wonder what it would be like if I turn this off. Would it be too dark? Oh yeah, now we can see. This is much better. Okay. Right, so this is to get this sense of it. And do we have an idea of what? I didn't ask Daryl what he wants for. Not Daryl. Daniel, what he wants for his border. And I normally do that first. So let's. Because I'm doing a live stream, I'm going to go. I normally take my time and do this a little bit slower. But let's just get the sense of the border first. Okay, hang on. Okay, or I'll just do it. I say one thing and then do another. I just put a little 1 centimeter border just so that I'm not going too close to the edge. It's always good practice. Actually, I'm not sure even this is maybe it is the right size. Oh yeah, I think we had agreed that we were going to take it from this angle here. So actually, I'm just going to do this. We're going to ditch the light board, and actually we're going to do this by sight. That's what we're going to do. It's not as nice looking as looking at my table. Anyway, so let's get our border there. I'll try get some of it inked. We'll do. Well, normally I would sketch everything, and then but I want to show you some of the techniques I use for constructing the buildings in an elevated map. So here we go. There's our border. So don't go over. There. I also have to plan out where I'm going to put my compass rose as well. And does the compass rose need to point north? No, it doesn't. You can point whichever direction you want. That's my opinion. Some people feel that the compass rose can point which direction. I don't know what that noise was in the background. Sometimes with modern technology, just just random noises. Alright, that's the important, but this is not the important bit. This is just my border done. Should really have prepared that beforehand. So this is where we want to be. So I can print this out again. So let's just get a sense of it with, I go like this. Okay. So this is I have to try and make sense of what we're looking at here. Okay, so we've got a road kind of coming. So this one here is a river. So there's a river traveling this way here. Okay, this is going to be a bit like the Dublin map. Okay, and then there's going to be a road going across here, working its way down through that way. So there's going to be a lot of trees in this map because I get my starting point for perspective. I don't use perspective. Like if you're talking about I just wing it. Like pretty much you're going to see how I set up my I start at the temple maze. We could start there. That's going to be a bit of fun. I will actually need to do some isometric stuff there because I'm going to try and do some kind of Escher style paradox, like something like something that's kind of going down and it goes across and it's on the same level like that. That's what I'm going to try and do. But if you're talking about like points of perspective, like there's points where I zoom into, that's off up here somewhere. So it's pretty much I don't know. I'll show you how I do these. Let's actually, we've got this religious center down here. Let's just sketch what we have on this map here and get a feel for the city. Or it's going to be like a town at this point. So we've got this religious center and there's kind of like it's going to go downhill. And we've got something in here. Actually, we have notes, but we need to connect this back on to get our notes. Okay, so, all right, okay. So, they're actually just pictures more than anything. So, we've got arches in the religious center. So, this patron, he kind of grabbed a bunch of pictures that he found that he liked the look of, that were going to represent the map. So these arches are kind of down at the bottom here. So let's just put those in. They're going to be in like that. Yeah, is that? I think it's this. This is probably too dark for you to actually see. We just tilt that way a little bit. Hey Benjamin, how are you? So maybe you can see that a little bit better, but now my camera is showing. Okay, so we've got the temple maze just next to this here. This is going to be coming next to the river here. And then the kind of government district. So I may need to kind of come back to Daniel on a few of these, kind of figure out what he wants. So, but I think we'll start with the the temple maze because I think we can have some fun with it. I'm going to use some isometric paper for this, even though I wouldn't normally for this sort of map, but just to play around with some different kind of techniques. This is not like this is similar, and this is every map I make. I'm what's this up here? Oh yeah, okay. I was just looking at my OBS. I was going that it looked like part of my table was cut away. So here's some just crappy old paper, and we will use our. I'm going to leave this aside, and we're going to come up with how the temple should look. Particularly the, it has to be kind of a maze, and it has to be a few paradoxes. I actually should. Right, so here we go. I should look up some of my favorite Escher paintings to see how he does it, but for now we're going to just we're just going to wing it. Okay, so we have, let's say, some sort of platform like that, and then we'll have this one kind of going, and I hope this kind of works out. Let's see, so we're going down to so down 1 across 2, that's okay. So, and then this is on the flat, and I can just go like that. Okay, so that's on the same level there. And we could just make some stairs up like that. And that's how Escher kind of messes with the look of things. And that means we can actually have kind of a path going along like this, and then underneath archway here, and off around here. And this is just kind of like how we're going to, because the place has to be kind of a maze, and I don't know what it's going to look like, but it has to be roughly this size here. I might even shrink this down, but I'm going to copy it by sight. So let's do the same a few more times. Okay, so we'll go down some stairs here like this. And then this could actually lead around. So there's a so this is the same level, and then we're going around, and it ends up on a different level. So in a way, we're just, I really don't know. Like, this is, I'm making this up as I go along, but it's something that accidentally happened on my dungeon map, and I thought, oh, that is good. Let me actually show you. If I can find it. Here we go. So on my dungeon map, I made a mistake, and then I spotted it. I was like, oh no, I can't fix that. Okay, here we go. Is this it? No. Come close. Huh. Oh, I was looking for this. I was looking for this particular page ages ago, and now I only found it. It was in all of these. Okay, here we go. So here's a little stairs, and I went down like this, and I realized that I put this surface in front of this here, even though this here, this whole level, was on the same height as right down here. So it's below, all of this is below this. So this shouldn't be coming in front of this here. So it creates this this paradox straight away. I couldn't get away from that. So you know what? I just created this secret door here. And yes, you can actually go through here. You can go down. And it's a great like way of getting a bit of an exercise if you're in a dungeon. First of all, you have to navigate this trap here. But don't worry about that. Navigate the trap, okay, or you could just run across and avoid these fireballs. And just keep on doing it. Yeah. So that's where I kind of first I thought to myself, yeah, actually it was another patron wanted to submit a map with, just a whole maze full of that sort of thing. But I wanted to play around with it. So that's what we're going to do here. This is going to be our temple district for this city. Now actually, so no, what is it called again? Oh, it's going to be called the Temple Maze because it's coming to the religious center, okay? So I need, various... Let me see. Let's have a sharp staircase going up like this. Okay. This one here can come around like so. And lead onto here. Okay, that's too much. That is absolutely too much mind-bending nonsense. Okay, so this is going up like this. And let's just have a shallower staircase going down like this. And maybe just we'll make it actually go in underneath. So that's going underneath like so, and then coming out like so. And then we'll have an arch over this one here. Okay, that's what we'll extend that a little bit further, and then a little bridge going over. Okay, so this is going to be our temple maze. It's already bending my mind, but it's supposed to be the sort of thing. The idea behind it is the mortals, if they enter the Fey realm, they just get lost in this. If they're kind of trying to come towards the religious center of the. But I think, you know what, we don't want it too big. Okay, actually, it's going to be popping up here a little bit. And actually, you can just shrink it down. And I don't have to represent everything. This is absolutely just purely a sketch at this point. I'm going to use this as a guide for the finished thing. Let's just have some more kind of doorways and paths. You don't really need to be able to navigate it, because the idea is if you get lost in it, then so can these mortals. So like that's what I mean. It doesn't have to actually make any sense. So let's have this one go this way. No, so I pretty much Labyrinth. Yeah, that was brilliant. I loved just the scenes where that was completely inspired by Escher. Oh, more tea. Can't believe my secret has got out about my tea addiction. It's gonna shut me down. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm regretting the big reveal about my tea addiction. Um, Also, my wife's homemade ice cream. I'm I am completely addicted to that at the moment. Addicted to that at the moment. Right. Oh, hang on a sec. Let's go out here and connect on like that. Let's have some arches. I'm just getting a bit longer each time. I don't know. Something like that. What kind of tea? Oh well, nothing fancy. It's just regular old, just tea. You see, I'm in Ireland, so it's. I'd say you'd call it English tea or breakfast tea or something like that. But if someone asks you for a cup of tea here, well, you give them a cup of tea. You might. It's either Lions or Lions Gold Blend or Barry's tea, and you're either one faction or the other. Uh, I'm a Lions man. Actually, no, I think this is some other brand. I don't know. Anyway, they're not paying me for this stream. If Lions, by any chance, you want to jump on and support this stream, and I'll like throw up your logo at the beginning, yeah, by all means, get in touch. But until then, you can go and I won't be. Buy Barry's tea, yeah. I'm not saying one tea or the other. Right, so this is this. I'd say this is going to be this level here. There's going to be that's going like that. Yeah. Okay. I think this is looking good. Yeah. If you, that's the only reason why anyone drinks Earl Grey. But it's not the same in a replicator. Right. Now let's see. Is that too big? That is too big. So, do you know what? Do you know what I might just do? Oh, is this the wrong thing? What am I unplugging? Okay, let's unplug this. Let's fire up. So I use do I like cinnamon? I do like cinnamon. I don't like cinnamon in tea though. I like my tea like I like my weightlifters. Strong and with some milk. I don't know if that makes any sense. Right, so I'm going to slap that in my scanner and I'm going to shrink it down. And let's see how quick I can do this on a stream. Because this is what I would normally do. I think I'm going to try do my streams the same way that I would do it regularly. Okay, so this is scanning. Less than a minute. Mint tea, yeah. You see, there's all sorts of teas like that. But if you come to Ireland, you're just going to get regular tea. You might put sugar in it. Tea, milk or sugar. They're your options. This is loading up the Photoshop. I would love to show you what I'm doing, but for some reason, OBS is just, when I'm screen sharing, it's just turned up black. So, unfortunately, I can't share that with you. Okay, let's see if I can reduce the size of this. Okay, that should do it. I'll print it, and then this is going to be our guide for this here. And I'm going to use the light for it again. So let's not put it away. So give me the quickest of quick moments, and I am sweet tea. Yeah, my kids drink sweet tea. I like I came off it. It's just okay. So I'll be back in 30 seconds or less. Okay, here we go. So this is what we have. This little thing here, and we are going to pop that right here. And this is actually not the technique I ever use for. I will construct my buildings like this, and then I'm constructing them as I go, but I have the layout. But I think this elevator map is just somewhat different. So I'm using some other techniques. So let's just get a little sketch of this. And we can add some more details to it. I'm just going to use this as a guide. My pencil needs a bit of sharpening. Okay. There we go. And we can get rid of this house that I drew here. Right. Sketcheroo. Oh yeah, this is here. This is going this direction like that. Let's make a little gap here like this. Okay. And then this can drop down a little bit further. And maybe I will push these down a little bit so you can get closer to the page so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I use my T. That's how obsessed. That's how obsessed with tea I am. That I use my. And what this is it's a tiny little cup, and I have a pencil sharpener inside, just so that I'm not getting. It likes to spit pieces of graphite everywhere, so or whatever it is, carbon. Now, let's shut this door. Oy! Okay, so this is going like so. This is actually going to look quite unique and unusual, I think. This is going to add to it, I think. There's something I wanted to do I'm so glad that I was able to do it on the stream actually. So this is going like this. We have a bridge going over, maybe some stairs going up one side. It's going to go like this. See, a lot of the detail is going to be added when I ink it. Okay, so we'll just sketch first. Now, the main thing you need to be concerned about when you're doing something from this sort of perspective is what's in front here. So I go to ink this straight away. I'm missing an opportunity to put something in front. Did I just put a little mark on that? What's that from? Okay. Right, here's the stairs going down. That platform is going like this. This is coming through like this underneath the bridge. Do you know what this is like? This is like something Commander Mark would come up with. He just like chose out the most bizarre thing. And of course, it cuts to the music. Then I only discovered him recently. All right, so this is going to be connected to our bridge. Okay. So we've got a bridge like that. Could have some kind of like lanterns here like that. I don't think these are nice fae because they've got a whole slave city going on over here. But I think I'm going to give them nice, alluring lanterns. I wonder, is there any nice fae? This is going through like this. We actually could connect it on there and give that a little bit of depth. Yeah, let me know if you've ever encountered any nice fae. All of the fae I ever represent in any of my games always been malevolent fae. Now, I am actually not really understanding. Oh, I see that there. Yeah, that's actually a little doorway. Yeah, I see his thing. I didn't encounter uh, Commander Mark. You see, he was on PBS, and we had two channels: Radio Telefiche Erin 1 and 2. 2 was actually a late thing, but it was like, so we had two channels when I was growing up. And you're lucky if you get reception for the two of them. And you're also lucky if you could get, when cable came at first. That was unusual. So I only discovered Captain America when someone commented on one just there very recently. What is going on here? This actually should be going underneath a little bridge here. That's what we'll do. That'll make more sense. That's connected on here. And then this can maybe come out this way and connect on like that. Okay. So a lot of this is just going to be made up. We have a little, and that's how I do most of my drawings. You know, actually, Commander Mark is a perfect example of, when I saw how he does things, it's like, oh yeah, that's how I like to do things. Now, what way did I do this? I just show the, so I'll decide I want this to go along like that, so that it intersects with this here. So that's how far down my pillars will go. When I first got this light board, I felt, oh, this is definitely cheating. This is, you can't get a light board and trace. You know what I mean? That's all you're doing. But I'm tracing my own work, so I think I can get away with it. But it's a great way to practice. I think. Right, this needs to go on with that, and that's going down like that, and then maybe this can actually just connect to a road that goes out like this, and this is a river, I believe. So maybe it can go into the government district. We've got this one here, the Temple Maze, and then Silversil Court government. Okay, so let's have a look at the surroundings of the Temple Maze. Is there? I think that was one of the ones that didn't have a. Oh, okay. Doesn't have a picture. Okay. But I reckon that there's going to be a heap of trees here, and that's what we're going to do. So I'll put the tops of some trees kind of arching up. Let's do some big trees like this. Maybe some kind of a mix of different types. Okay, so now that we have that tree line there, I think we could get away with. Huh? You have two exits to the maze. Yeah, I don't know. Happy little trees. There's another another artist that I did not grow up with, Bob Ross. But again, I went down the rabbit hole. Anytime I do little trees like this, or do a little time lapse of what's tree that's gone out of focus. Come on, focus, focus. What you know I need to do to focus. Maybe bring this back, and also I also need to drink some tea to focus. Okay, let's turn off this and let's do a little bit of inking. So what have we got? We got 15 minutes left. Because I'm just going to do an hour of this, and let's make sure that I included any of the table markings. Okay. Oh, there's my table markings. Okay, inking. I am going to ink the top of each, but I'll do that afterwards. First of all, I'm going to start with my finest pen, a 003, and we are going to do some detailing. So let's do these little pillars here. I like the idea that they would connect like this, which is kind of a little circular thing. I have to make sure that I actually don't go past the guide that I set myself. Right, and also what I need to do is use a page to lean on so I don't get all my acidy hands all over my page, more so than it is necessary. Okay, here's my pillars. Now, I do the back of this. But you know, I can go straight in with, let's go with this new one. This is just for, oh, you know what? Shoot the bottom part. Just to give it a bit of weight. Let's go like that. And I reckon this is going to be on a level, so we need to kind of create a platform. So let's go like that, and then we can actually bring this in. Oh, do you know what might be nice? This is, this is how my brain works when I'm inking. I'm like, no, don't ink yet. You need to throw a little lamppost here. Now, the style of lamppost is, well, I suppose you could say Narnia, but it's just that Victorian era. And in Dublin, we have the Halfpenny Bridge, which has these sort of, so this is a Halfpenny Bridge here, with those sort of, I know it's not very clear on that map, but that sort of lamppost. So we're just going to show a few. Oh, hang on a sec, maybe I will use that kind of arch style. Maybe I'll do it on this bridge here, and then have a kind of a, there we go, that's what I'll do. So that's changed. And then I'll just do some standing lampposts coming up like so. So people got to be able to see. They've got to be able to see. Now, let's make sure this is all in line. Yeah, so people ask me like, oh, what does this? I have no idea what's going on generally on a map because I'm making it up as I go along. Sometimes you should always include elements that you elements that you don't know what they are. Right, so let me show you, okay, on this page here. This is like just photocopy page. And I discovered that my Staedtler, I'm kind of falling out of love with my Staedtler pens. I know that's terrible, we've had a good run, but if you look very closely, yeah, let's say I try to do some very fine detailing. It's just working really nicely for me. Okay, so right, forget about it. Normally I cannot get like fine lines. If I just want to do like super fine, they just, yeah, actually, yeah. No, if I want to do some shading like this, I find they kind of bleed. It is down to the paper, and with this paper here, it's like this sort of thickness paper. It's specifically for this sort of pen. It works really well. Even better again is watercolor paper. So this is not. This is a mix of cotton and lignin-free cellulose. Okay, so this, I have to say, this is much thicker, and the reason why I won't use this is because it, and I do use it, but not as often because it's so thick that it's hard to use with the light board. But this is really nice, and I've started using this for a few, so that I can then maybe in the future I can do a cup of tea. A cup of tea. My tea is empty. I cannot finish that sentence. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, watercolors. I'm actually possibly going to do a watercolor map, but I'm so nervous about it. And I'm talking about on an original. I will possibly do it in Victorian with gears, and yeah. I do love steampunk, and I have included some elements actually in my latest map that is going out to patrons. So it's my latest I suppose this was not gears as such, but oh, where is it? Where did I put it? Here it is. Okay, so I have these sort of elements. I feel like they're kind of like dwarven more than steampunky, but dwarves are pretty steampunk. They're just like these sort of elements, and then a big control panel. You know, it's controlling. I don't know what. Who knows? But that's not the point. The point is, ooh, there's a breakaway in the wall that you can actually go to this. I don't know. I really want my patrons to explore somewhere other than the old section of the dungeon. But I know, like, the old section of the dungeon, there's going to be some pretty awesome stuff there as well. Right, enough of my tangent. Let's just finish this. We've got a few more minutes. Let's pop that there. And I would like to have some light. So what I normally do is I just put a little bit of, put a circle around it, meaning I'm not going to shade in that circle. By the way, how is the audio quality on this stream? Oh, let's put this there. I have had people say that I may be a little bit quiet, or maybe just turn up your volume. But maybe there's no feedback. Yeah, I will. There won't be any no feedback. Okay. There won't be feedback because I don't have audio coming through here. I'm not listening to myself back. I actually can't figure it out. All right, this one here just got messed up, but should be okay. So we got these little. I think I'm going to just throw a little shade. Oh, I shouldn't be shading in there. But I think at the side of the lamppost should be fine, just to give a little bit of texture. It's more just stuff behind it that you don't want to shade. Okay, now we can do the thing that just got sidetracked from doing. I was actually going to leave this map to the end. I was just like, okay, you know what? it's such a kind of a, there's so many elements in it that, like this one here, that I found daunting, and I'm constantly, you know, unsure how I'm going to approach a map. Uh, I think everyone feels that way, uh, but it all turns out okay in the end. So these are pillars going behind. Go like this. I want to extend this slightly so I can see the edge. So we'll go along this way a little bit more. So let's go to here. We've got a little archway here, which we can do some shading underneath. Oh, that's kind of widening slightly. Well, you're not going to miss much, Daryl, because I'm going to be ending the stream very soon. So it was, thank you for joining me, and congratulations again on your win. And you know what, I have to have a word with you and Harold for Talent Manager. You must be like giving some bribes to Harold or something like that. So we'll have a word later, okay, about the corruption in the mapping industry. Okay, so talk to you soon. I'm going to just finish this little section here, and I think I'm going to call it. This one here is kind of getting a bit wider, but you know what? It's coming up to a big bridge, so that's okay. This is like a big fantasy. So here is our bridge. So, and then we'll have a few steps going down like so. And we have a little light at the top. There we go. So with some things, I don't know if it just takes practice. Like I'm winging this, as you can see. There are certain techniques for starting. Okay, I do want to finish with a tiny little tutorial on approaching, I suppose, an elevated city like this. So with a regular city, you're going to do lots of top-down buildings like this, and then you might do the tops of the houses like so. I'm always curious as to what they look like if you tilt them. So the way you do the same one is, now I find it's nicer to kind of rotate them, but I do exactly the same like that. Let's do this one here like this, that one like that, that one like that. Now just extend up from the base, starting with the front one. Until you have, let's make this one a taller building. Now I'm going to actually extend the roof up. So I'm skipping a step there. Okay, you're going to extend directly up like that, and then drop down. Parallel line here, parallel line here. This one is parallel to that, and there is our building. This one here, I'm going to. The roof is going in, so it's going to come up from here. This has to come up the same distance here, and then it's angled in, comes along, attaches onto that one, and there's our next building. So you're just going to work your way through. This one here has a flat side to it, so I'm going to go from here and work my way backwards. So actually that's come in front of this building. This one here has those sort of roofs. Same with this one. And you can throw in some flourishes like chimneys. Now, for that, I tend to do the roofs first. I'll do the top of that. Work my way around this one here. Now I've got to put a chimney in here, so let's just do that. And same with that. And try to get a little bit of overhang of your roof. Then finish it all off. This is obviously the quick version. Oh, actually, I'm finishing off with my thick pen. I tend to swap to a thinner pen for that, for the detailing. So if you see me doing this, you're going to go, is this actually Jog? Because it's rubbish. Now, I might, instead of doing that there, I could do like some grass, whatever, at the edge, and maybe some stippling for a road going up. And like sometimes I'll look up a building style and I'll emulate it, or sometimes I just, whatever I fart out of my head just goes onto the page. Then roofing. Again, this is just a quick way in which I do it. I would take longer with each building ordinarily, and then I finish off with some shading with it, and I've deliberately swapped to another pen. So I'll shade the front like this, and then the other one is just cross hatch like that. Maybe a little bit darker cross hatching, like close to here, maybe angled. Same with the roof. So that's how we do those. I'm going to do the same here somewhere, but I wanted to start with this one here before I did anything else because it's down the bottom of the map. And so that was an hour in. I've gotten this small section done. So my elevated maps tend to take a little while. Like I would have, if I was doing a continent, I'd have much of it kind of, and I'd be off I go a lot quicker. So thank you for joining me, and if you're not already a patron, I'd appreciate if you consider it. Throw a little link down the bottom in the chat. The Patreon just, it helps me make these maps, and my overall goal is to leave my job and do this full time. And currently I'm making strong progress in that direction, and I really appreciate the support of my my current patrons. I suppose that's it. That's my little plug. Until I get like another, let's say, Barry's Gold blend, you know, they want me to plug their tea or whatever, then until then. Okay, well, that's me done, and I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.